Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET Now. Let's continue with the journey of taking you through all the stocks that are moving in trade. On the technical front, we're now joined by Forum Chera. Very good afternoon to you, Forum. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And let's talk about your first stock that you have for us, and that is HDFC Bank. And everyone's been waiting only for one. Actually, everyone's been hearing the same thing on and off, that we will see recovery, They're yet to see the sustainable recovery creep in for HDFC Bank. When do you think that is likely to come about?
Well, hi, good afternoon, and thank you for having me on the show. Well, as you rightly said, that we all of us are hoping for a good kind of a sustainable recovery in this particular stock. But however, I'm picking up this stock from an investment perspective. Now, let's talk about it in a technical basis. That the stock price did see a decent correction of nearly 20% since December to January. That's in 1 month. It was a very steep decline, and post that the stock price has been consolidating and trying to take support near 1360, 1380 levels. And in fact, now it has been in a range of 1360 on the lower side and around 1480 on the higher side. And currently the stock price being very close to the resistance level of 1480. It's trading at 1437. However, since it's just forming its base, it becomes quite, it indicates that it's quite stable, and thus one can consider to buy small quantities from an investment perspective. Indicators like RSI has indicated a positive divergence where the stock price was actually forming lower bottoms. The RSI was indicating a higher bottom formation, which was the first sign of positive divergence, and it indicated that it's building up some strength. And secondly, the parabolic SAR also is showing a buy mode. Thus, overall, it seems that the stock is stable enough to start investing.
Alright, moving on then, let's shift focus to Garden Reach Shipbuilders. This counter is in focus, Cheryl, on the back of Elara Securities note, where they are actually gone ahead and saying that there could be some price reduction because they are targeting 650 rupees on this particular counter. They have maintained their sell rating, and the rationale behind this is that they are seeing delayed inflows can actually impact their business. Their order book actually stands at 23,600 crores as of December 2023, but the pipeline reflects that the large order wins can come in the books only from FY26 and not now. So they have cut their FY24 EPS estimate guidance by 2%, and FY25 and 26 EPS estimates by 9 and 6% respectively on the lower than expected execution in the past 9 months, leading to a margin compression, and that's why this counter is in focus as of now, having a decline of 0.6%.
Alright, let's move on. Let's talk about Syrma SGS, and that particular counter is in focus with the rest of the electronic manufacturing pack. And the reason being is that the Jefferies has come out with a note where they have actually initiated coverage with a buy rating of Syrma SGS. The stock saw an uptick of as much as 4% on an intraday basis. And the reason why they've upgraded or rather initiated coverage with a buy rating is because they're saying the strong growth in India's electronics industry will augur well for Syrma SGS. Jefferies is saying that they see favorable risk or reward in Syrma stock, and they expect the company to double its return on capital employed to 21% over the next 2 years. And they've also set a price target of around 640 rupees per share. It implies around or excess of 30% uptick from the last closing price. So Syrma SGS getting a thumbs up from Jefferies. The stock is trading higher by about 2%.
Alright, moving on there, and let's focus to GPT Healthcare. Shesha, one of the recent listings, has come out with its earnings as well. Share the report card.
Stock is reacting to a positive set of numbers that it reported up nearly 5% as we speak. So for the quarter gone by, total income has risen by about 4% on a year-on-year basis. Margins have contracted slightly, but that's not a concern. EBITDA too has risen by about 5% on a year-on-year basis. In fact, even for 9-month period, company has reported income increase of about 13.5% and EBITDA growth of about 26% on a year-on-year basis. Management commentary is also quite strong with respect to expansion plans going forward, where the company said that existing 4 hospitals continue to perform well with respect to all financial parameters, including average revenue per operating bed and increasing occupancy for all these 4 hospitals. And they say that they aim to establish a chain of 150 to 200 hospitals in their core market. So very positive management commentary. Numbers are also very strong. The stock is slightly off the highest point of the day, but despite that, gaining nearly 5.5% as we speak.
All right, let's move on then. Forum, let's talk about ICICI Bank. You spoke about HDFC Bank. You said yes, people can try and nibble in right now at these levels. Similar call coming in for ICICI Bank?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, the stock has been comparatively outperforming even to the benchmark, or even I would say HDFC Bank in particular. Now, talking about the last month, the stock price was at around 985. It saw a good up move by close to around 13%, formed a high of 1,113. And now we can see a bit of a retracement coming in. But this retracement is closer to a level of around 38.2 as per the Fibonacci retracement levels in technicals. So it's just taking support near those levels, and we can see that a lot of accumulation is happening. Now, if you would have observed that last week there was an exceptional increase in volume, indicating there's a lot of accumulation even at higher levels. Thus, one can consider buying the stock from an investment perspective. Maybe at current levels, one should look at only buying 20 to 25%. Add at lower levels closer to around 1047 and keep accumulating till the levels of 1040, which is a support level, and also coincides with the 50-day moving average. Since the overall trend of the stock is up, hence I am quite bullish on this stock.
All right, let's move on. And before we move on, in fact, let's take a look at what Nifty Bank is doing, because we see while Forum was talking about ICICI Bank, you've seen Nifty Bank actually erase its gains. Now, once again, back in the negative territory. Was not able to hold on to those positive moves, looks like it. Even the rest of the market actually is seeing a tad bit of subduedness from the day's highest point, Shrishti.
Well, yes, wild moves coming in on Nifty Bank at least, but let's shift focus back to the stock specific action and let's talk about Apollo Hospitals then. And Ankita, take us through what's happening here and why this counter is still holding on to the gains.
Well, yes, Apollo Hospital is in focus today. In fact, it is trading with gains of almost 1.5%. Now, top management rejig is what has happened at Apollo Hospitals. So, you know, this it's on the senior level. Dr. K. Hari Prasad, who is currently the president of Hospitals Division, will be superannuated from the services of the company with effect from 31st of March. And Dr. Madhu Sasidhar, who is currently designated as the Chief Strategy Officer, has been redesignated as the President and the Chief Executive Officer of the Hospital Divisions, and this will be with effect from 1st of April. So big rejig happening on the top management front, and on the back of that, Apollo Hospitals is trading with a gains of 1.2% right now.
All right, moving on then, let's shift focus to the auto space, and Bajaj Auto is indeed in focus because the management joined us today and they have come out with quite a positive commentary, especially on the export side, where they are saying that the last few quarters they are seeing recovery in the exports market. Currently, they have 20 models serving the different sub-segments, and they are planning to build on to these 20 models. As of now, in the domestic markets, the focus is clearly on expanding the portfolio. When it comes to the Chetak side, there has been a reduction in the subsidies for the EVs, and this is done in a step-by-step manner by the government, which is seen to be positive. But more than the quantum in the reduction in the subsidies, it is certainly on the ongoing subsidy regime that is seen to be positive by the industry members. And but they are also flagging off that the growth might get dampened a little bit even from the current levels as well. Other than that, they are also saying that they are pushing very hard to expand the network for the Chetak, and they plan to get it available in 500 plus stores. On the back of this counter is in focus.
All right, another private bank that's made it to Forum's list, and that is Kotak Mahindra Bank. Forum, private sector banks, looks like you're liking them.
Yes, actually, considering these leading stocks or the banking stocks have been now getting a little stable and is forming a base. So that is the reason why I'm picking up some of these stocks from an investment perspective, that those who do not have or can consider adding it to your portfolio in smaller quantities. So now particularly this stock has actually seen an underperformance compared to its peers. Now from the highs of 1920 in December, the stock price came down closer to a level of around 1680. That's a decent correction. And now the stock has stabilized. Now, in fact, when the stock price was forming lower bottoms, RSI was forming higher bottoms, indicating a positive divergence. That was the first indication where the stock is looking stable, and one can now start focusing on this particular stock. Secondly, now the stock price has now consolidating in a very narrow range between 1720 to closer to around 1760. Thus, one can consider buying maybe 20-25% at these levels. Currently, the stock is facing some resistance near 1770 levels, which also coincides with the 50-day moving average. but a closing above that can add some upside momentum. Thus, one can consider adding only above 1760 or 1770 levels on a closing basis and can look for a higher target of 1840. But for now, from an investment perspective, one can consider to buy a small quantity.
Right, and we are back with the latest edition of our Times Now Summit. Remember that over the years, our Times Now Summit has been championing pertinent national agenda points where India's leadership, leading thinkers and national influencers come together in order to define the action plan for India's progress. Themed India Unstoppable this year, we will focus on charting India's remarkable journey and its increasing influence on the global stage. So join us on March 27th and 28th in New Delhi and watch the who's who of the political corridor share their views. So do stay with us for all the highlights and all the action as the action begins here only on Times Network. Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET now. Let's talk about tyre stocks, and all of these tyre counters are actually in focus in today's trading session because you have a note that's also come out on these counters. There has been a recent increase in the commodity prices, including rubber, and that's likely to see a weigh, or rather will weigh on the margins of these tyre makers. So because of that, you have Nomura that's come out to note. You saw MRF actually decline as much as 2%. Balkrishna Industries also saw a decline by 1.6%. CEAT is under pressure. Apollo Tyres is under pressure. While Nomura is saying that the recent uptick in natural rubber and the crude oil prices may pressure the tyre companies' margins if prices sustain at these elevated levels. This is what even Kotak analysts also mentioned. Kotak analysts also cited muted demand trends in the domestic market. They said that at the current spot prices, they are suggesting potential gross margins cut of about 100 to 200 basis points or FY25 estimates. So that is what the Kotak analysts are expecting when it comes of the tyre companies. And back of that, you have all the tyre companies that are actually taking it a bit easy in trade today.
Alright, moving on, and let's shift focus to Titan then in Forum. I'm amazed to see that amidst the sell-off in the Tata group of companies, Titan in the past 1 month has actually done nothing. Quite strong on the charts. But which side are you positioning yourself, on the buy or the sell side?
Well, on the buying side, and definitely from an investment perspective. Now, as you rightly said, Titan has particularly not done too much or haven't seen too much of a decline. Now, one is that the stock price since December has been consolidating in a broad range between 3,500 to around 3,800 levels. That's nearly 8 to 10% of the range. Now, we have seen that since December being in that range, and currently it's on the lower side of the range. Currently, the stock price is 3,585, which is again lower side of the range, which is a support level. 2 is that it's trying to take support near the 100-day moving average, which is again very important. And third thing is the overall trend of the stock has been bullish because the formations have been higher tops and higher bottoms on the weekly charts. Now, when we talk about RSI as an indicator, is showing absolutely neutral, no negative divergence, so there isn't indicating a sell-off. And thirdly is the parabolic SAR, which is indicating a buy mode. Thus, overall, it's indicating that the stock is stable and one can consider investing into this particular stock. Those who do not have it into their portfolio, maybe consider buying 20 to 25% at current levels and add on at a lower level closer to 3,500, which is the support of the consolidated range. And one can look for a higher target back in closer to a levels of 3,750 to around 3,800.
All right, let's move on then, Ashesha. Let's talk about Gujarat Gas. Why is this one in the spotlight today?
Well, yes, Asia LNG prices have risen by nearly 22% in the last 1 month, which is having a negative impact on the stock. The stock has recovered from the lowest point of the day, but despite that, sitting with a cut of nearly 1% as we speak. So as I mentioned, Gujarat Gas relies on spot LNG for nearly 30% of its industrial production, and hence this sudden rise in spot LNG prices is likely to have an impact on the company, either in terms of margins or in terms of volumes. We also have a report that has come in from Citi this morning where they are maintaining their sales stance on the stock with a target price of 450. The stock currently trades at 515 odd levels. Citi also says that sharp recovery in LNG prices should weigh on the financials going forward, and they believe Asia LNG prices have bottomed out for the time being, although they've risen 18 to 20% in the last 1 odd month. So on account of this sharp increase in LNG prices, we are seeing that weigh on the stock. It has recovered from the lowest point, 1% lower as we speak.
Alright, moving on, and let's shift focus to the EMS space then. And Ankita, talk to us about Jefferies' take on this EMS space.
Well, yes, Jeffrey has come out with a note on the EMS space, especially on Keynes. They have initiated a hold with a target price of 2,900 rupees, and on Syrma, they have initiated a buy with a target price of 640 rupees per share. And you can see those gains coming in on Syrma, which is trading with the gains of almost 2%. Now, they say that over FY24 to FY26 estimate, Indian EMS industry is set to post a 35% plus CAGR led by China Plus One and lower labor costs. Syrma and Keynes both of them focus on components, and that is likely to be margin accretive for them. Also, Keynes is the only EMS player to foray into the OSAT and PCB production, which is backward integration. Again, a positive coming in for Keynes, and also over FY24 to FY26 estimate, both Syrma and Keynes are likely to post an EPS CAGR of 55 to 60% with an ROEC expansion. Now, they also recognize Keynes' niche business model, but they are rating it as hold, based primarily on the punchy valuations for the companies. And you can see the movement coming on the stock. Keynes is trading with a downtick of 0.5%, and Syrma is trading with a gains of almost 2%.
Yes, absolutely. Syrma SGS, like mentioned earlier, as well, benefiting on back of that particular report. But you have Venky's also that is actually seeing an uptick on a intraday basis. The stocks saw an uptick of as much as about 3% or so, now holding on to gains about 2.1%. The company has said that they've begun commercial production at their animal health product unit in the state of Maharashtra, and the unit is set to manufacture veterinary medicine powders at a capacity of about 600 tons per year, and the veterinary medicine liquids at a capacity of 300 kiloliters per year. So on back of that, if you look at the stock, it's actually a buzzing in trade today. It's 3% uptick. No doubt, YTD, the stock has been under pressure.
Alright, that's about Venky's, but let's shift focus to Bharti Airtel then. And Forum, this counter has been holding strong amidst the market sell-off or the volatility. Tell us what are the next levels that you are watching out for.
Well, in this particular stock, the stock has been comparatively outperforming. Now, since end of December till January, we have seen a good upmove from 960 to around 1200 levels. That's nearly 25% rise. Now, post forming a high of around 1200, we saw a bit of a correction, or I would call it as retracement. It retraced closer to a level of 1100 levels, which also coincides or is taking support near the 50-day moving average. And along with that, it's a 38.2% Fibonacci retracement of its entire move from 960 to 1200 levels. It consolidated or tested these support levels of 1100 levels multiple times, and then we saw a bit of a resumption of an up move. Last week, the stock price moved back and retested its previous highs of 1200 and kind of consolidated. However, on last Friday, we did see a good breakout on the stock, and it closed above its resistance level of 1200. And currently, the stock price is retesting or consolidating near the breakout level. Thus, overall, the trend remains strong and bullish, and thus one can look at buying, but at a lower level of 1190, can maintain a stop loss below the levels of around 1160 and look for a higher target of closer to 1280 to 1285.
Alright, let's move on then. Ashisha, let's talk about IndusInd Bank. I think among the major private sector banks, only IndusInd was left for us to talk apart from Axis Bank. Why is IndusInd Bank in focus?
Well, yes, management commentary has come in very strong. So UBS met with the management of IndusInd Bank, and they've spoken about their priorities going forward, where the management said that they remain highly focused on profitable growth, improving their return on assets and gaining market share across key segments for the company. They did not give any guidance with respect to slippages, but the management said that credit cost is expected to remain in that 110 to 130 basis points mark. As far as net interest margins are concerned, they will continue to be in that 4.2 to 4.3% range. LDR continues to remain below 90%, and they have no plans to increase it in the near term. They also said that competition in liabilities is increasing, which limits near-term growth opportunities, but for the long term, the commentary was quite strong. So on the back of this report that came in from UBS, management commentary, the stock is gaining 0.8% higher in trade as we speak.
All right, so that is IndusInd Bank, 30 stocks down on this edition of Market Fatafat. Let me thank Ashesha, Ankita, Forum for joining us on the show, as well as Nagaraj for taking our viewers through all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. With that, we are totally out of time on this edition of Market Fatafat. Goodbye from Shrishti, myself, and the team that who put the show together.